Hey guys, it's Troy. Welcome to another episode. She thinks about you more when she knows less. A lot of guys will go into a dating encounter, a dating scenario, or just go on a date. Let's use plain English for a change. A lot of guys will go on a date and they will believe, because we tend to be quite logical creatures and we tend to communicate in a direct sort of fashion as guys, they will believe that, okay, this is about an exchange of information, and the best way for her to get to know me and for me to get to know her is for me to give her as much information as I can about myself, and for me to get as much information about her as I can, and then let's see where we're aligned, okay? Let's see what we've got in common. Let's see what interests we share. Let's see what things we're passionate about. And that is going to be the way in which I'm going to secure this girl's attentions, okay? That's what most guys think, and it makes sense, right? It makes sense because it's logical, okay? And when you think about, if you were, say, scoping out a business deal, or if you were looking to buy a property, for example, what do you want to do? Well, you want to find out information about that deal or that property. You want to find out as much information as you can. You want to know the price, you want to know the maintenance charge, you want to know any other charges that are connected with that property, or the deal, whatever it is, and based on that information, and then you're going to figure out how aligned it is to you, and then based on that information you're going to make a decision, okay? Pretty straightforward, all right? Unfortunately, affairs of the heart are very different to that, and actually, counterintuitively, and again, a lot of this stuff, very counterintuitive, it's not always obvious, withholding, and I don't mean in some Machiavellian way, but holding back a little bit in terms of the information that you give is a good thing, okay? And it's a good thing for several reasons. The first reason is that if you give away everything all at once, you become a bit of an open book, okay? She already knows the story. She already knows the beginning, she knows the middle, and she knows the end, okay? And if there's one thing that ignites attraction, and if there's one thing that really ignites desire, it is mystery, okay? Think about a great detective movie, right? Think about a great mystery film, all right? We want to find out who did it. We want to find out a piece of information, okay? Or maybe there's several pieces of information because there's several subplots, all right? But we want to find something out, okay? We want to get to the bottom of the mystery. And of course, the film goes on for 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is. And of course, the final pieces aren't revealed to us until right at the end, okay? If they're revealed to us at all. Or there's a twist in the ending, perhaps. But the point is that the filmmaker, the expert narrative spinner, the storyteller, right? They know how to get the most out of this. They know how to squeeze the most out of a tale, out of a story, okay? And it's not by giving away the ending right in the beginning. If at the beginning of the movie, the truth was revealed, the killer was revealed, the criminal was revealed right at the start of the movie, then there wouldn't be any narrative drive. There wouldn't be any reason to watch the film because you already know the answer, unless there was some other salient point that was being withheld. And then you'd be watching to find out that other salient point, okay? In most cases, unless it's some crazy art house type film, this is how films are made, and this is what draws people in, okay? We want to find out what happens at the end, okay? And if the ending is given away to us too quickly, then why would we bother spending the money to go to the cinema or to stream it or to whatever, We wouldn't, right? There's no point. So you need to take a leaf out of this book when you think about relating to other people and relating to women in particular in dating, because again, are you creating something compelling? Are you creating an experience that is compelling for her? Is there a reason for her to continue engaging with you? Or are you just some dullard who has shown his hand at the first opportunity, and now she's kind of like, okay, well, I've kind of read that book. I kind of know what happens already, so I don't need to investigate any further. Okay. The less that she knows, the more that you're going to be on her mind is the truth of the matter. And you want to, and this is just classic psychology, okay, and it applies in other areas as well. It can apply in sales, right? It can apply in business, but you want to leave her wanting more, okay? So that is to say, you know, you're not giving away everything up front. You're not telling her every single detail about your life. You are not keeping the first date going for hours and hours and hours, okay, for it to lead to nowhere. You're not texting her continuously throughout the week, all the time, telling her what you're doing and good morning text and good night text and all that kind of stuff. You're not doing any of that stuff, right? There is a certain distance, okay? This is a dance. This is a game. It's a game that everyone plays, men and women. And especially women. Women are very, very good at it, okay? And we can all learn a lot from looking at how women operate in this, okay? In general, the women that I've tended to become, you know, really, really close with, and who I have, you know, really sought to make a part of my life, or really, I ended up in relationships with and stuff, they've tended to be very good at playing this same game early on, where they are not too available at the beginning, okay? They are not too upfront. They don't necessarily tell me immediately what they're looking for or what they're hoping for, or they don't show their hand, okay? And I'm sure we've all been in this situation where it's those women who we tend to be the most compelled by, okay? Because there's a sense of mystery, and there's a sense of, I'm not quite sure where I am with this person, in a good way, okay? So why would it be any different the other way around? Okay, why would it be any different when you're thinking about your behavior and its effects on her, right? The psychology is the same, okay? You've probably been, or you may well have been in a situation where a girl just really, really likes you, a woman just really, really likes you, and she likes you up front, and all the cards are out on the table immediately. There's no pretense, there's no, I'm not saying you should pretend, by the way, but there's no charade, there's no hiding the fact, you know, she just likes you and it's very obvious. And unfortunately, and this is this horrible quirk of human nature that I keep talking about, unfortunately, we tend, on the whole, to be slightly repelled by that, okay? We tend to be slightly repelled when something seems to us to be too easy to acquire, okay? And we tend to be compelled when it seems a little bit more difficult to acquire, okay? So, it's a very simple lesson. It's a very simple lesson. You want to appear to be a little bit more tricky to acquire, okay? You're not an easy touch. You're not somebody who's easy to work out, okay? You have hidden depths, as we used to say, right? You've got some, you know, there's something going on there that's interesting, that's intriguing, that she wants to figure out, all right? And this is why you don't want to be on early dates telling your life story, or your whole life story anyway, and telling her about, you know, all of your dreams for the future in extreme detail, and implying that she might be part of that if she'll just give you a chance. You know, you don't want to be doing any of that. You want to be making her guess a little bit, you know, keeping her slightly, not at arm's length, and again, not in some crazy manipulative way, but you want to just leave a little bit of space there for her to imagine, okay, I wonder what this guy's about. I wonder what he really wants. I wonder what he thinks of me. Okay? You want to leave that little bit of a gap there for her imagination, and that will do a lot of the work for you. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this one. Give me a comment below, let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channels. If you're interested in coaching, drop me an email, troy@realtroyfrancis.com, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye-bye.